The Israel Defense Force spokesperson, and that's Jonathan Conricos, says Hamas is simply trying to buy time by releasing two hostages previously held captive. What do you make of that?
Well, the whole issue in Israel and Gaza, we need to understand, first of all, apart from the war on the ground, there is also a media war. The whole world seems not to be getting the actual picture of the horrors on ground on both sides. Propaganda is part of the war. And from what the old lady said, who has been released from captivity by the Hamas, that she and her colleagues were fairly treated as prisoners of war, so to speak. And I think Hamas had a plan to send a message to Israel by taking those captives. They didn't really intend to probably kill them or harm them, and that is what informs them being treated fairly. Having said that, Israel is poised for war. So whatever Hamas does, whether they release captives or they don't, is just for the gallery. And of course, Israel will speak in that regard.
Now, Dr. Wasagu, let me go to a new dynamics that may play out in these conflict between Israel and Gaza. I want to read to you what the Prime Minister, said, Israeli Prime Minister said 2 days ago, and that's Benjamin Netanyahu. He says, and I clearly stated, I quote him saying, Hezbollah will make the mistake of its life if it starts a war with Israel. The devastation will be unimaginable, end of quote. What scale of impact are we looking at if perhaps Hezbollah joins in this ongoing war?
Well, our prayer is that Hezbollah does not join the war, because Hezbollah is not Palestine. Hezbollah is domiciled in Lebanon. And Hezbollah, being predominantly Shiites, have the absolute support of Iran and the Iranian government. And the way we have seen in recent days support for Israel from the President of the United States, Joe Biden, to the Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister of the UK, today the Prime Minister of the Netherlands and the Prime Minister of France are all trooping into Israel to show solidarity. However, nobody is showing solidarity physically with Hamas, because Hamas is actually a small group in the Palestinian land. It's not every Palestinian land that is being occupied by Hamas. Don't forget, you have the West Bank, you have the East Jerusalem, and then you have the Gaza Strip, where you have the Hamas. You have also another group called Al Fatah, which has been silent for some time. Now, if Israel is to go out on all-out war with Hezbollah, which will result to attacking Lebanon, you can be rest assured that Iran already been accused by United States that they are supporting in proxy. They are supporting the war in supporting Hamas. But in this case, if Hezbollah is attacked, Iran will come out full-blown to support Hezbollah, and then United States, who already have armaments on the shores of the Mediterranean and have moved armament closer to Israel to support Israel, will of course engage in if Iran joins in.
Okay,
now, however, if Iran joins in, just the point to point this, if Iran joins in and the United States joins in, Russia and China may equally take their sides, and it may be a very bad war. So, and we don't hope that they go all out on Hezbollah.
Okay, Dr. Nasir, can you provide insight into the role of international humanitarian aid in Gaza? How does it contribute to the overall situation, and what challenges does it face?
Now, the role of humanitarian aid in Gaza is being hampered majorly by logistics. The humanitarian works is being coordinated by United Nations Relief Works Agency, that's UNRWA. They are the ones coordinating it. All the Middle Eastern countries, Qatar, Egypt, Jordan, have to channel in their aid support for humanitarian aid into Gaza through the UN. However, a very disheartening and scary information came out from this agency today, saying that they might shut down their operations in Gaza by Wednesday, which is tomorrow, due to the lack of fuel. You see, moving every kind of humanitarian aid to any from point A to B is a logistics nightmare. Now, it has been made more of a nightmare when these logistics, they themselves pose as a problem. There is no fuel to move these trucks. The international media today are celebrating the entrance of about 20 trucks into Gaza. 20 trucks, we're talking about just 20 trailers in Nigeria's parlance. That, you agree with me, is pretty small for what we have seen, because within the last 24 hours, about 80 people lost their lives. The shelling is ongoing. It's unimaginable. So the humanitarian works going on are going to be hampered by a logistical challenge, and that will amount to an escalation of the humanitarian nightmare that the region is going to witness. And the Palestinians are not people who want to move into Egypt, Jordan as refugees, but they may be forced to do that in this case.
All right, thank you for your time, Dr. Nasir Wasagu. Thank you for your insight this evening on the Israeli and Gaza conflict. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.